The Create Venue function within Project Home allows you to quickly combine exported system and production elements with a new venue model, eliminating the need to re-implement the system design. For example, touring system engineers must update their system design for each stop of the tour since they will be deploying the system in a new venue. Traditionally, this means recreating the design in the new venue model so that new pinning and aiming angles can be established. The Create Venue function in Canvas makes this process faster. Once imported, venue, system, and production elements can be easily adjusted as a group to properly align them within the venue model. Once everything is aligned, you can make system adjustments specific to the new venue. Prior to using the Create function within Project Home, you must first export your PA system and any production elements that you use as a reference for placement. Using your reference design file, select Export Sources from the main menu. This will export all of the loudspeaker clusters within your design to a .csrc file that can be imported into other projects. The exported data includes group memberships and all information related to position, arrangement, and processing. Repeat this process for the production elements within your reference venue by selecting Export Production Elements from the main menu. You are now ready to import these elements into a new venue. You can access Project Home from the main menu, or by using the keyboard shortcut, Control or Command +N. The Project Home page always defaults to Open, and you will notice another option next to Open named Create. When selected, the Create option allows you to choose the following: a venue model, one or more Canvas sources files with the .csrc extension, and one or more Canvas production element files with the .cprd extension. For venue, the only valid file types are Exchange file formats. These include .csrf files, exported from Canvas directly, and .cvef files, the Claire Venue Exchange format. We can then add the system and production elements files that we exported earlier from the reference design. While you can only select one venue, you can choose multiple system or production element files to import simultaneously. By selecting Create, a new Canvas project will be created and these files will automatically be imported and placed within the venue. The production elements and sources files, when exported, retain their offset to the 000 point of the venue file where they originated. In this case, our source file placed the downstage edge at the x=0 position, so all of our imported sources and production files will maintain their relationship to this point. However, you can see in our new venue model, the x=0 reference is the dasher board opposite the stage, and we now need to align the venue, sources, and production. We have two options. We can either adjust the location of our production and system, or we can adjust the entire venue relative to the x=0 location. Here, we are going to adjust the venue, since it will be faster. You first need to determine the distance between the downstage edge and the x=0 point. To do this, you select the stage audience area in the venue model and look at the x value for the stage. With audience areas, the position x value is always the front edge of the audience area element. We can see that it is offset from x=0 by -165.75 feet. If you select the venue group, you can offset the complete venue by this amount, and it should align with the production and sources properly. Success! The venue, sources, and production are now fully aligned, and you can begin working with the sources to adjust pinning and aiming as needed. We have now explored how to export production elements and sources, use the Create function to combine a venue file with exported production element and sources files, and align the venue, production, and sources so that they are in the correct location and orientation for today's production.